Christianna Holmes. My family and I have been a member here for about 9 years. We definitely consider this our family church. That is why I feel a need to come up here and tell all of you the miracles that have recently happened in my life. On December 10th, a Wednesday, I was here at church in youth group, and signed my brothers up for upward basketball. I did not feel sick at all that night. I went home, talked to my mom, and went to bed around 10:30. I woke up at 4:30 the next morning with a horrible headache and kept rolling around my bed until about 6:30. I then went up into my parents' room and told them that I had this horrible headache. My mom thought I only had migraines, so she told me just to lie down. 2 minutes later, I ran to the bathroom and threw up. I went over to my mom in her office, and as I went, I noticed my whole right arm up until my shoulder was numb. I realized that my left one was starting to go also. The next 5 to 6 hours are very blurry in my mind, and I have heard what happened next. I went incoherent. I was not making sense and very confused. My mom called 911, and I remember being put on a gurney and asked many questions, but I could not respond to them. The EMTs did not know what I had. They thought maybe I was having a stroke because my arms and hands had become so stiff. I was rushed into Southwest General Hospital, and they gave me a CAT scan and saw that my brain was swelling and that they needed to relieve some of the pressure. They gave me a lumbar puncture and pulled some of the fluid out of my back to help reduce the stress in there. I was given 2 IVs also, and I started hyperventilating. I did not know what I was doing, and I kept trying to pull out the IVs. I was also doing some other strange things, but I could not help it. I really only remember blurred images of the people that came to see me. Pastor Karen, Pastor Josh, and Pastor Dan were some of those people. They came and prayed for me in the emergency room instead of my grandma and my aunt. They all prayed together with my parents. I could not be treated at Southwest Hospital because they did not have an intensive care unit for children there. I had to be transferred. I was supposed to be taken to Cleveland Clinic because that is where my dad's insurance wanted us to go. But they had no beds in their intensive care unit, so I was taken to University Hospital, which was my first hidden miracle from God. I do not remember the ambulance ride there or when I was transferred to the hospital room. I do remember waking up and finding my mom and dad and my sister. While I was out, my mom and dad called every prayer chain that they could find and told them to pray for me. When I woke up, I was in a lot of pain because they had not given me any medication. The doctors thought that it would mask any signs if I were having another attack. They told my parents that I had encephalitis and mono. Encephalitis is an acute inflammation of the brain. It can cause damage to the brain because the inflamed brain pushes against the skull. It can also lead to death. We never heard of this disease before, so my grandma printed out about 50 pages about it, and we learned just how dangerous it was. Later on Thursday night, I was almost able to fully respond. I could understand everything was being said, but I could not completely answer them correctly. By Friday night, I was back to my normal self. I could respond to questions and ask some of my own. Many people and doctors were shocked at this revelation. They said that many people take days and weeks to become coherent again, and they need a lot of physical therapy. Those are my next 2 hidden miracles. The physical therapist came in Saturday, and we walked and talked a little. She said that she was amazed by me. She said that I would be fine, that I did not need any more physical therapy. Many kids need at least 2 weeks of therapy, and I needed none. When I was taken in the ambulance, I did not have time to grab my favorite chapstick. When I became coherent again, I realized that I did not have it, and I really wanted it. On Sunday, a lady came around and was passing out gifts, and since I was older, she gave me a bag that was filled with Avon stuff. But in the bag was my favorite chapstick in the whole world, and it was not from Avon. You can buy it anywhere. Yet God allowed it to be in there and gave me a little blessing to remind me that He was thinking of me. On Monday morning, I was getting my routine medicine changed. I had 2 IVs in my right hand and 1 on my left. In the emergency room, they said that those would last for about 3 days. I was scared of getting poked again because I had been poked so many times before. By Sunday, my IV in my hand went bad, but my IV in my arm was still good. It actually lasted the whole time I was there. That is a miracle because it lasted for 7 days. Also, they needed to sporadically draw blood, and both times my mom told them to go through the IV, and one nurse said that she had never done that before. Still, my mom insisted upon that. Instantly, when she started to draw the blood, an abundance came out. They never had to poke me to get blood. God provided for me a way to get out of being poked. He let the blood flow. I believe that He replenished my blood with His, because a human vein does not flow with that amount of blood after being an open IV for that many days. God never let them poke me again. I was on 4 very powerful medicines because they gave me the medication for all the types of encephalitis they had cures for. My first day out of intensive care, I was given my medication, but the nurse did not read the full report because she did not dilute it with the fluids or slow down the speed in which it was entering. My veins were being seared, and I was in an excruciating amount of pain. My mom called the nurse over and she added fluids and slowed it down a lot. That never happened again, but one day my arm was just extremely sore from all the medicine that it really started to sting. My mom and I laid our hands on it to take the pain away and started praying. As soon as we said amen, my arm had completely stopped hurting. He had yet again showed His power and His mercy to me. I do not know exactly exactly why I went through this, but I know throughout this whole thing, I was not alone physically or emotionally. My mom and my God have never left me. God allowed many miracles to fall upon me, and I would like to tell everyone that He is still working and still doing miracles. How else would I be able to be up here and telling you all this if He had not given me? Thank you.